Sejfarms. What is this about, and how did it start for you?
Right. Sejfarm is an agricultural enterprise, and we're big on aquaculture. We are into the various value chains in aquaculture.
Okay.
That's from seed to harvest. That's hatchery production, grower production, and value addition processing. And also, we are into training for both graduates, undergraduates, and farmers too. So that's what Sejfarm does.
All right. So how did this journey start for you?
Yeah, I started my own business as an undergraduate, as a 200 level student.
Oh, wow.
From Lagos State University. And it was a backyard thing for me. It was out of passion and just doing my own thing. And when I got to 500 level, I made up my mind I wasn't going to work for anybody, that what I was earning as a student was enough to start me after school. And interestingly, there was a time the former governor of Lagos State, Dr. Fashola, was around, and he came for one of the convocations in school, and he said, people keep complaining there are no jobs, and if you can't get one, why not create one? So that stuck to me, and I said, man, I'm not going to look for any job. I'll create something and support the economy, employment. So, and since then, I've never looked back. And
how long has this been on?
Almost 2 decades now.
Almost 2 decades.
Wow. Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the challenges you have encountered.
Yeah, it wasn't void of challenges, but interesting ones. Initially, every business would encounter the capital challenge, that's financial capital.
Okay.
Which to me then wasn't really a big deal, because I felt what was needed most wasn't the financial capital, but the skills capital, which I had. So I started, and because I started when I was still with my parents, so it was easy for me. I wasn't paying. I wasn't paying, I wasn't feeding anybody, so it was just about me. So the profit I made then, because I had some skills before getting my admission to study fisheries, aquatic biology then. So the profits I made, I plowed back into the business, and I started off. And the other challenge was site location, expansion, and I met good people that gave out their land to me entirely free to get started. And then when I needed funds, because of I was having clients already, and I was doing consultancy, so some of them could help me get little funds that I needed to push. But I started very small, so it wasn't really stressful for me.
All right, then let's now look at what you major in. Is it just on aquaculture? Is Sejfarms about aquaculture strictly?
No, agriculture now. So we diversified into, not diversify, we integrate into crops now.
Why?
Yeah, just to manage waste resources. Instead of throwing away our pond waters and our waste from the hatchery, so we plow those back into the soil to
fertilize the soil,
organize, to do organic farming. So so it's like a waste to wealth kind of
and
approach.
So when you channel that into organic farming, what kind of crops would that help with?
Purely organic vegetables. Then we've got plantation too.
Ugu, water leaf,
jute leaf, that's ewedu, amaranthus, tomatoes, all kinds of vegetables. Even we're doing the exotic too, cabbage, lettuce, and carrot as well too. So.
All right, I understand you represent thousands of farmers. That aquaculture comes with distinct challenges, from feed costs to water management. In your experience, how crucial has processing and value addition been in helping your farm stay resilient and profitable?
Yeah, interestingly, that has been the deal breaker on the farm, because at a point we were really having challenge with what to do with what we produce, and we felt, okay, how do we get these things to the final consumer? At least is by presenting it better and adding value to it, and that has helped as the of taking arm of the farm. So everything we produce on the farm is being mopped up by the processing facility. So there is a model on the farm which we also encourage other farmers to emulate, that there is a market for every value chain within the farm model. So if we produce seeds, that's the fingerlings on the farm, there's a grower department on the farm that buys major quantity of what we produce from the hatchery, and when we produce the ground, there's a major part of that is mopped up by the processing facility. From there it gets to the end consumers. So that is one thing that we found out that needs to be done by most farmers, so that we can increase our consumer base for our aquaculture products. And even at the association level, I think that's what most farmers are doing now. We are not there yet, but we just need to do more in the area of product development and marketing strategies.
Okay, so for every business that is being, put up in Lagos, it is believed to be profit-oriented, right? And when you make money from citizens, it's expected that you give back to the society. Lagos is looking towards, being self-sufficient in food production. Where is the role, where is the place of Sejfarms in all of this?
Yeah, we realizing the government can't do everything. Sejfarms has been into a unique CSR project that is knowledge gap, which is really missing. And when we talk about aquaculture in its entirety, skilled professionals, skilled workers are missing, and for investors, a lot of their funds go into waste because they don't have the right management. So we decided to invest in the next generation, that's the youth, so through training. So that's one, and most of our trainings, especially for the undergraduates, are sponsored by us, not by any external support. So we have sponsored programs, different programs, both local and international. So, but for the undergraduates, it's entirely free. So it's a way of giving back.
Almost 2 decades ago, when you thought to venture into aquaculture, it wasn't such a lucrative kind of business that a young mind would want to venture in. Why aquaculture?
Yeah, my grandfather was a fisherman.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a fisherman. So I fell in love with what he was doing, but I needed to take it top notch. So, and with education, I believe there's nothing called odd job. So there's going to be a different touch to whatever you do. So, and because I'm from Badagry, I'm from Lagos. Lagos is known as a state of aquatic splendor. So
true.
we have water all around us, all kinds of water that you can think of. So I felt,
Yes.
yeah, let me play around with these natural resources. And yeah, aquaculture came in, and in fact, aquaculture is just a subsector of fisheries. So, and what I'm doing in aquaculture is just a little bit of what can happen in fisheries, and that is what Lagos can do. So, so it's interesting. So nobody forced me into it. Most times the graduates or undergraduates, when you ask them what course are you studying, they tell you they gave me fisheries, they gave me agriculture.
Were you giving fisheries?
I chose it myself. So it was out of passion, so I chose it myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me the nexus between studying fishery and practicing.
Yeah, if you study it, you'll be scientific in your approach.
Okay.
Yeah, if you practice it, you might just be a business person. You might not really have that knowledge to improve when it comes to innovation, species development, and technology utilization. So, but education makes the difference. So.
Talking about species development, I know for anyone listening out there now and wondering what kind of fish one can actually consider into, nurturing. We see a lot of, when you go to the market, you see all kinds of fishes, right? But one common fish you would find almost everywhere is the codfish. But then, talk to me. Are there other types that one can invest in aside this particular one?
So many. Interestingly, we are not where we need to be yet in terms of making aquaculture robust or species development, because world over we have over 500 aquatic lives that are being cultured, and here we're still dealing with just about 2-3 catfish. Tilapia is really coming up thanks to the Lagos State government helping us in the area of knowledge, dissemination to farmers. So we are really coming up with tilapia development as well too. Then there are a lot of indigenous species that are good candidates for aquaculture that we need to work on. Some of us are beginning to domesticate these indigenous species already now. That would move us to the next phase.
So I think there is this species that has to do with indigenous with Lagos State, tilapia species.
The ecotype cichlid, that's Wesafu.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
The cichlids has several, over 500 species of the cichlid. So tilapia is one of such, and we have different strains of it. So currently we are doing some project, an international project on tilapia strains. So maybe in a few months' time we should be done with that, and it's going to be available to the public. So, but aside from tilapia, we have the popular Okodo, that is the Parachana obscura. We have that long one that has heterotis. They call it offo or slab water fish. Egelson is Gymnacus niloticus.
Okay.
So all kinds, and we have our popular obokun. That's the Chrysixis. And the Negogitatus, that's silver catfish. So there's a lot of fantastic indigenous species that we still need to. So that's why we're looking at how do we strengthen the relationship between the town and gown, the research institutes and the practicing farmers, so we can break new grounds and make aquaculture more robust than it is now.
For a young person listening, or for anyone listening out there now and wanting to venture into aquaculture or fishery, can you walk us through the process from hatchery down to sale?
It's good to specialize. So you can be a jack of all and a master of all. So it's good to specialize. So for any young man that is going to go into aquaculture, I think it just needs to some level of orientation, then to now specialize in a particular value chain.
Yeah.
If you want to go into hatchery, then you go into hatchery. If you want to go, that's if you are not a professional, if you are not schooled in that. So if you want to go into value addition, go and learn about value addition.
What is value addition about?
That's fish processing, transformation of fish from its raw state into different products. It could be in form of barbecue, it could be in form of snacks and all kinds that we're doing currently. That's why I talked about product development earlier. And if we do a lot in the area of product development, it's going to increase fish consumption in different forms, not just by eating pepper soup or the smoked one. There are different forms.
Sorry, Taiwo, I wanted to ask you, what about fish fillet? What's the Nigerian or the Lagos perspective about fish fillets?
Yeah, it's like an ostensible product, not for everybody. It's kind of expensive. You've gotten the bone out, you've deboned it, you've removed the flesh, and so it's just the meat of the fish.
Okay.
Yeah, part of the things we're doing now is when we remove the skin too is not a waste. We convert it into leather.
Leather.
Leather works. So a whole lot that is happening. So, and for us, I think we have over 18 products from catfish already, and we still need to do more.
But talk to me. You said something earlier about water surrounding the whole of Lagos. Name it, all kinds of water. But we still get to import fish.
We are underutilizing what we have. What Lagos has in terms of aquatic resources, some nations of the world put together don't have it. But we are not there yet.
And why is that?
Yeah, I think the government needs to do more. The research institute needs to do more. The big guys in the country need to do more. We are joking with agriculture, which we shouldn't be doing, because we have the freshwater water bodies, the lakes, the lagoons. We have the brackish water body. We have the salt water, the marine environment, and they all have their different kinds of species that are that inhabit such water bodies, and most of them are culturable. So, and Lagos has everything. Lagos has everything, even underground water. So why are we not doing what we need to do in terms of aquaculture development? So, but I think we need to do more. So
when you say we need to do more, the government needs to do more. The researchers need to do more. How about those of you practicing? You are the ones wearing the shoes. You understand the fundamentals, the principles, and all of these. How about you put your heads together? Is there anything you can do to salvage this situation?
We've always put our heads together. The thing is, there's little we can do when it comes to growing the industry big as individuals or as groups without the support of the government.
Okay.
Because government policies, there's a way the government policy.
Somersault, can you expatiate using your experience as the former LSADA president, Lagos State Catfish Farmers Association of Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Yeah, I think the government of Lagos State.
We have a call quickly. Let's connect with this person. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Serge, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Your name and where you're calling from, please. All right, Dr. Busari, quickly, please.
Oh, boss.
Yes, I agree with what Serge said. In terms of government funding, research funding, I've known Serge for over a long time. We need to do a lot of research. We have the brains, but the funding on research is very low.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Busari. All right, thank you so much for that call. So moving on quickly because we're running out of time already. Let's talk about the effect of climate change on these aquatic creatures and, of course, by extension to the business.
Okay. Yeah, climate change is real and is really affecting a lot of farmers because it has the water chemistry parameters has been fluctuating and is really not helping farmers get the expected results, because at times now, because of climate change, you have temperature going surging so high than normal. We have flood challenges at times, which wipes out a lot of investment. We have, and when you have challenges with water chemistry parameters, it inhibits growth. It inhibits growth. It slows down the gestation period, so which is a major challenge. And also too, this has also affected some of the raw materials needed in feed formulation of fish. It's not available because most of the grains needed are expected to be grown from within the country. But unfortunately, we are not meeting up, maybe because of low technological advancements. So we have to import some of these things that in turn increases the cost of production. So
Are there ways one can artificially, augment these risk factors? When you mentioned something earlier in terms of flooding, which actually washes away some of these, aquatic creatures, and then you have the option of pond, right? So when it comes to the water composition you mentioned earlier, are there other means of working on some of these things?
Yeah, we have alternative source of power to generate more water.
Okay.
That's solar. I think just last week we did solar installation on the farm, about 12 kVA. Why do we have to do that? Because we needed to run water more. Because now if you don't run water, if you don't replenish what you have, the temperature spikes, and that's a big issue for us. If you don't run enough water, the ammonia level would increase. That's another major problem. And we need electricity to do most things on the farm, especially post-harvest management. We're really looking at an aspect that will change the narratives when it comes to aquaculture. That is coaching, introduction, which is also very important. But you can't achieve that if you don't have constant electricity. Yeah, so solar is the best option. So,
all right.
Yeah.
As interesting and lucrative agriculture sounds across board, talk to me about some of the risk factors and intending aquaculture, need to be mindful of.
Yeah, majorly as it concerns aquaculture, for us, the major challenge that we have now is market. We need to create more markets.
So for a potential investor now, or for a potential aquaculturist, what are the things he or she should have at the back of his or her mind before venturing into the business?
Yeah, a lot of factors to put into consideration. Site selection, capital, the cost of your budget. You don't just dabble into a business that you don't know what it's going to cost you. You need to do that. Then you need skilled labor. Then one other important thing is access to fund, which is a major challenge. The banks are not willing to support agriculture. They are not farmers friendly. So that also needs to be looked into. Then cost of setting up construction too needs to be looked into, because those equipment that you need to, they are quite expensive, and if you don't do the right investment, they may not last. So you keep on repairing, fixing, and that eats up your capital.
So when you say that the banks are not usually, that flexible to deal with, as farmers in Lagos, I know the Lagos state government has been investing in a whole lot, to help businesses survive in Lagos. Have you explored that option?
Yes, but not enough. Not enough, because there's still more to it. One area that I think the government of Lagos State can invest in aquaculture that will trickle down the entire value chain is help create more markets.
Okay.
Create more market channels.
Sorry, when he says more market channels, we are in cheap side, we import food, more fish.
Yeah.
So how is that a challenge?
We just need to do more on product development and popularization. A lot of people have this idea of catfish or tilapia farmed fish are for the rich. Once it's fresh, it's for the rich.
Okay.
And it's not easily accessible to the common man, to everybody.
And that's because of the price.
No, not the price really now, because most of the fish we have access to that comes in from other parts of the world are not they are not live.
Sure.
They are processed, they are preserved, frozen.
Okay.
So if we begin to have such too for our catfish. You can travel, you can have it on every street.
But can it be preserved?
Yeah, it can be preserved.
Amazing.
And Lagos State government really did so much in that when it comes to what's it called? The storage.
Yes.
But we just need to improve more on some of the
I'm afraid
projects the government has done in Lagos State.
we have to end this now. Lagos, Nigeria. You must be wondering who I have been speaking with. I have Sejiro Michael Tojinu in the studio, the founder and CEO of Sejfarms Group. I must say a very big thank you to you for coming on the program this afternoon. All right, Lagos, Nigeria. This is where we'll get to drop the anchor on today's edition of Lagos Farmer. This program has been brought to you by the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority. I have done this with Elliot Faminu. And we must say a very big thank you to the social media team also. Daniel Downsey, big ups to you. Our executive producer is Taya Akoli. I remain Taiwo Barua. The program makes a return next week, Friday at 5:30. 4:30. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Lagos, Nigeria.